As I sat across from my buddy Phil at our favorite coffee shop, I couldn't help but be captivated by his enthusiasm as he spun his latest tale of adventure. Phil and I had always been kindred spirits, drawn together by our shared love for pushing boundaries and exploring the unknown. Today, however, he had a mischievous glint in his eye that hinted at something bigger, something more exhilarating than our usual escapades. "So Jack," Phil began casually, taking a sip of his steaming cup of coffee, "I've stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. You know that abandoned amusement park on the outskirts of town? The one that's been off limits for years?" I leaned in, curiosity piqued. "Yeah, what about it?" Phil leaned back, his voice lowering conspiratorially. "Well, here's the thing. I've managed to dig up some information that suggests there's more to that place than meets the eye. Legends say it's haunted, cursed even. But imagine, just for a moment, what secrets lie hidden within its rusting rides and crumbling attractions." I could feel the thrill building inside me, my heart pounding with anticipation. "So what are you suggesting, Phil?" A mischievous grin spread across his face. "I'm inviting you to join me on an adventure, Jack, an exploration of the unknown. Together we'll uncover the truth behind those ghostly whispers and long-forgotten memories. We'll be the first in years to set foot in that abandoned amusement park, and who knows what we might find." I couldn't resist the call of adventure that echoed in Phil's words. Our shared passion for exploration and my desire to shake up my routine compelled me to nod in agreement. The wind whistled through the skeletal remains of the abandoned amusement park, its haunting melody weaving through the broken attractions. I stood at the rusted gates, gazing at the overgrown pathways that once swarmed with joyous crowds. "We finally made it, Phil," I said, my voice barely audible over the eerie silence that enveloped the park. He nodded, a nervous smile playing on his lips. "I can't believe we're actually here. Imagine the stories this place holds." As we continued our journey, the air grew heavy with a sense of abandonment. Crumbling structures surrounded us, their once vibrant colors faded by time and neglect. The laughter and merriment that had once echoed through these grounds were now replaced by the whispers of the forgotten. A chill ran down my spine as we approached the old Ferris wheel, its towering form dominating the landscape. The creaking of the rusted metal echoed through the stillness, a ghostly reminder of the joyful screams that once filled the air. "Something feels off about this place," I murmured, a tinge of unease creeping into my voice. Phil chuckled nervously. "Well, that's what makes it exciting, doesn't it? The unknown, the mysteries waiting to be unraveled." Against my better judgment, I followed Phil further into the heart of the park. We passed by dilapidated game booths that held remnants of prizes long forgotten, and broken-down snack stands covered in moss and ivy. Time had turned this place into a ghostly reflection of its former glory. As we ventured deeper, the sounds of our footsteps seemed to fade into the hushed whispers of unseen entities. Shadows danced at the corners of my vision, leaving me unsure if they were merely tricks of the mind or something more sinister. "It's like the park itself is alive, harboring secrets and horrors," I said, trying to shake off the growing sense of foreboding. Phil paused, his eyes scanning the surroundings. "You know, there's a legend about this place. They say a monstrous clown haunts the amusement park, a malevolent entity that preys on unsuspecting visitors." A shiver ran down my spine, despite my attempt to dismiss it as mere folklore. "Come on, Phil. You don't really believe in that, do you?" He shrugged, his expression a mix of intrigue and caution. "I don't know, but isn't that why we're here? To uncover the truth? To face the unknown?" His words resonated within me, igniting a spark of curiosity. The haunted amusement park took on a new allure, a dark mystery waiting to be unraveled. With a mixture of excitement and apprehension, we pressed forward, our exploration fueling a sense of both adventure and dread. Little did I know the horrors that awaited us in the depths of this forsaken place. As the moon cast its pale glow over the abandoned amusement park, an unsettling atmosphere hung in the air. Shadows danced and flickered, playing tricks on my mind as we ventured deeper into the heart of darkness. Phil's excitement was palpable, but my unease grew with every step. Suddenly, a distant, echoing laughter pierced the eerie silence. The distinct sound of a haunting chuckle echoed through the empty pathways, making my skin crawl. Fear clutched at my heart, and I couldn't help but shudder. "What was that?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Phil turned to me with a half smile, but there was something in his eyes, a glint of mischief that set me on edge. Just part of the haunting atmosphere, Jack. It adds to the thrill, doesn't it? An icy sensation crept down my spine. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The sinister legends about the clown and the whispers of its malevolent presence grew louder in my mind, fueled by the chilling laughter that had reached our ears. As we continued our exploration, uneasiness turned into frustration. The adrenaline that had accompanied our initial excitement gave way to suspicion, and I couldn't help but glance at Phil with a mix of anger and fear. "You knew, didn't you?" I hissed, my voice trembling with accusation. Phil's smile faded, replaced by a look of surprise. "Knew what, Jack? This is just an adventure, a chance to experience something extraordinary." I stepped closer, my words dripping with urgency. "Don't play dumb, Phil. The stories, the warnings about the clown. You knew the risks, yet you brought me here anyways. What are you hiding?" His eyes flickered with a mixture of guilt and defiance before he sighed deeply, his shoulders slumping. "All right, Jack, I confess. I've been here before, tried to face the clown alone, but something happened. I couldn't defeat it, couldn't escape its grasp." A knot tightened in my stomach. I couldn't believe the gravity of his revelation. Phil, my trusted friend, had deceived me. But why Phil? My voice wavered with a mix of hurt and anger. Before he could respond, the laughter erupted again, louder and more deranged than before. The surrounding darkness seemed to close in, suffocating us. I realized with dawning horror that the clown was near, relishing in our shared pain. "Do you ever wonder how a place like this can hold so much darkness?" Phil spoke, his voice now filled with an underlying tension. I took a moment to absorb his words, the weight of our situation bearing down upon me. "It's as if the darkness feeds off the abandoned hopes and dreams of those who once sought joy here." Phil nodded, his gaze fixated on a collapsed roller coaster. "But sometimes I can't help but feel that there's more to it. Something hidden within the very fabric of this park, waiting for unsuspecting souls to stumble upon its malevolence." His words sent a shiver down my spine, an unsettling realization creeping through my mind. The subtle hints Phil had dropped before, the legends of the haunting clown, and now his own admission. It all painted a picture of a much deeper and more intricate web of darkness. I turned to him, my voice filled with both fear and curiosity. "Phil, tell me, what happened when you faced the clown before? What did it do to you?" He hesitated, his eyes haunted by a pain I couldn't fully comprehend. "The clown, it has a way of getting inside your head, twisting your thoughts, and filling you with despair. It thrives on our fear, our vulnerabilities. It used me as a pawn, as a means to lure others into its twisted game." A cold shiver ran through my veins as I grasped the full weight of his revelation. Phil's own encounter with the clown had transformed him into its unwilling servant, a pawn bound by a malevolent force. And now it was using us to further its unholy agenda. As we ventured deeper into the heart of the park, the atmosphere grew dense with a suffocating malevolence. Shadows danced provocatively, as if tempting us to explore the darkest corners of our existence. Whispers swirled around us, carrying with them fragmented tales of the clown's deeds, stirring my imagination with scenes of horror. Our surroundings mirrored our internal turmoil, a twisted manifestation of our fears and uncertainties. The broken attractions stood as silent witnesses to our impending confrontation, their faded colors now serving as a testament to the fading hope within us. Suddenly, the stillness of the abandoned amusement park was shattered by the reverberation of thunderous footsteps echoing ominously behind us. Goosebumps prickled my skin as the ground beneath us seemed to shake with each heavy thud. Fear seized both Phil and myself, our instinct for self-preservation kicking in. Without hesitation, we exchanged a glance filled with sheer terror, silently confirming our decision to flee towards the safety of the funhouse. Heart pounding in my chest, I sprinted with all my might, my feet pounding against the weathered pathways. The sound of Phil's hurried footsteps reverberated in my ears, urging me to push forward, to escape the looming menace that pursued us. As we approached the looming entrance of the funhouse, a sense of temporary relief washed over us. In the frenzy of the moment, it seemed like the only sanctuary against the unseen threat that relentlessly pursued us. Little did we know, our perceived shelter was merely a ploy, an elaborate trap carefully crafted by the malevolent clown that lurked within. As we dashed into the eerie depths of the funhouse, its twisted corridors and distorted mirrors heightened our unease. The air felt heavy, suffused with an otherworldly presence. I could hear the distant laughter of the clown, echoing ominously through the corridors, fueling our desperate escape. We raced through the maze-like passages, our nerves frayed and adrenaline pumping. The mirrors lining the walls played wicked tricks on our senses, reflecting distorted versions of ourselves that seemed to mock our every move. Shadows danced and flickered, merging reality and illusion into a disorienting nightmare. I could feel my heart pounding in my ears as we encountered obstacles designed to confound and confuse. Funhouse mirrors stretched and contorted our reflections, distorting our perception of space. With each wrong turn, we encountered dead ends and deceptive paths that seemed to lead us in circles. Phil and I exchanged anxious glances, the weight of our situation bearing down on us. We knew that every wasted moment brought the unseen pursuer closer. We needed to focus, to navigate through this twisted funhouse and find a way to escape the looming danger that was drawing near. Drawing on a surge of determination, we pressed on, trusting our instincts and each other to guide us through the maze. The laughter of the clown grew louder, a constant reminder of the imminent threat lurking just out of sight. As we approached a section with spinning tunnels, our sense of reality continued to warp. The walls whirled around us, creating a dizzying effect that threatened to disorient us further. We clung to one another, a lifeline of sanity amidst the chaos, and steered our way forward. The repetitive rhythm of our footsteps reverberated through the corridors, blending with the clashing sounds of distorted laughter and distorted music. The funhouse seemed to come alive with sinister intent, as if eager to ensnare us within its twisted labyrinth forever. Within the twisting passages of the funhouse, our breaths came in ragged gasps as we neared the climax of our harrowing pursuit. The laughter of the clown echoed through the distorted hallways, taunting us, but our determination burned bright. As we turned a corner, we emerged into a vast chamber, its walls adorned with grotesque clown faces leering down at us. In the center stood the monstrous clown, a ghastly visage of painted white skin and malevolence. Its eyes glowed with a sickening intensity that sent chills down our spines. Summoning our courage, we took a step forward, ready to confront our antagonist. The clown's voice boomed, filled with a roiling malice. "You thought you could escape me? You are trapped in my domain, my puppets for eternity." But we refused to succumb to its taunting words. Phil and I locked eyes, drawing strength from our shared determination. We had come too far to surrender now. With a fierce resolve, we engaged in a desperate dance of survival. The clown moved with terrifying agility, its laughter reverberating through the chamber. Mirrors reflected the chaos, creating illusions that played tricks on our senses, but we pressed on, fueled by an unwavering determination to overcome the darkness. Using the environment to our advantage, we maneuvered through the maze of mirrors, utilizing their distortions to confuse and disorient the clown. It stumbled and faltered, its confidence shaken by our resilience. Hope kindled within us as we realized that we held the power to defy this malevolent force. With every strike and dodge, our movements synchronized, a testament to the bond we had forged amidst the trials that plagued us. We fought as one, aware that our unity was our greatest strength. Gathering our resolve for one final push, we unleashed a coordinated assault. Phil distracted the clown, drawing its attention while I moved swiftly, targeting its vulnerabilities. Blow after blow, we landed strikes with precision and determination. As the battle raged on, the clown's laughter transformed into screams of anguish. Its face contorted in pain, revealing the cracks in its invulnerable facade. Finally, with one decisive blow, we incapacitated the monstrous clown. It crumpled to the ground, its laughter silenced. As the defeated clown lay before us, its grotesque form twisted in agony, there was a fleeting moment of triumph. We caught our breath, knowing that we had overcome the malevolent presence that had plagued us throughout this terrifying ordeal. But as the room fell silent, an unsettling realization dawned upon us. The laughter, once a mocking melody, resumed, growing louder and more deranged. The clown's eyes glowed with a renewed intensity. It seemed the darkness within him had not yet been extinguished. With a sudden burst of energy, the clown rose from the ground, fueled by an inexplicable force. It lunged toward us, its movements swift and unhinged. We braced ourselves, ready to defend against this unexpected onslaught. But as the battle ensued, a chilling realization dawned upon me. The clown seemed impervious to our physical attacks. No matter how hard we struck, it shrugged off our blows with an eerie resilience. Our initial triumph began to fade as we found ourselves overpowered by this seemingly unstoppable force. I glanced at Phil, fear reflecting in his eyes as the clown's grip tightened on him, effortlessly overpowering his resistance. With a sickening realization, I understood that the clown intended to use Phil against me, to exploit his vulnerability and break our unity. "Fight it, Phil," I shouted with desperation, trying to break through the clown's influence. "Remember our strength, our friendship. You are stronger than this." But Phil's eyes glowed with a vacant expression, the puppet of the clown's dark influence. As the clown tightened its hold over Phil, its malicious laughter pierced the air, drowning out any hope of salvation. In that moment, I felt a surge of determination rise within me. The clown's weakness was not physicality, but the power of human will. I would not let it break me. I would not let it destroy the bond we had forged. I summoned every ounce of strength and resilience within me, guided by the belief that love and friendship could triumph over even the most insidious forces. With an unwavering resolve, I charged at the clown, channeling my willpower into a single decisive blow. The impact knocked the clown off balance, and as the clown staggered backward, its hold on Phil momentarily weakened. I seized the opportunity, rushing to Phil's side, my voice filled with determination. "Phil, you have to fight! Break free from its control!" The vacant look in Phil's eyes wavered, a flicker of recognition breaking through the clown's influence. He shook his head, struggling to regain control of his own thoughts. "I won't let it control me anymore," he muttered, his voice laced with defiance. With renewed determination, Phil joined the battle, unleashing his own inner strength alongside mine. Together, we fought as a united force against the clown, striking blow after blow, fueled by the power of resilience and friendship. The clown, realizing its grip on Phil was slipping, let out a shriek of rage and desperation. Its laughter turned into a manic cacophony that reverberated through the room, fueling our resolve. We pressed on, unfazed by its attempts to demoralize us. As the battle reached its peak, a surge of energy coursed through me. The connection between Phil and me intensified, our shared willpower radiating outwards, permeating the room with a tangible force. The clown, sensing its impending defeat, cried out in a mix of fury and anguish. In a final act of defiance, the clown mustered all its remaining strength and unleashed one last attack, targeted at Phil. But this time we were ready. With a swift move, I interposed myself between Phil and the clown's assault, absorbing the blow intended for him. As pain coursed through me, I gasped for breath, feeling weakness seep into my limbs. However, my sacrifice had served its purpose. The clown's power began to wane, its form flickering and dissipating like smoke in the air. With a furious laughter that was now tinged with desperation, the clown exploded into a whirlwind of pure energy, its malevolence consumed by its own demise. The room quaked with a violent force, and then silence. As the dust settled, I turned to Phil, a mix of exhaustion and relief washing over me. He stood before me, his eyes clear and free from the clown's influence, gratitude shining in his gaze. We had overcome the darkness together, shattered its hold, and emerged victorious. And so, we left the funhouse, stepping back into the moonlit expanse of the abandoned amusement park. As we walked away from the remnants of our haunted experience, we carried with us a newfound strength and a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit.